Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome into the building. Listen, we made it to Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. Welcome in the building. We got stuff to talk about, okay? Let me get myself comfortable here. So, just trending topics as usual, and the title is called Shocking Revelations. Shocking revelations. Yes, we got some shocking things to talk about. Diddy's mama. Honey, you know these documentaries, they do these documentaries, and these documentaries end up being sometimes the death of the individual, literally. So a documentary is coming out on Peacock. I want to say next Tuesday. I don't know what time, but next Tuesday, January 14th, on Peacock about Diddy. Al B. Shore participated in the documentary. Little Ronnie participated in the documentary. And I guess some, or at least one, of Diddy's childhood friends. Now, this childhood friend said something interesting. He said that Mama Combs, when they was growing up, she would throw these wild parties in her house on the weekends. So did he learn it from his mama? She would throw these wild parties in her house on the weekends. He said it would be nothing for you to walk in a room and see a couple butt naked. You got to watch what you do around your children. You got to watch what you say around your children, because your children really do essentially end up being just like you, or close enough. They said the apple don't fall far from the tree. They said Diddy himself, I think it was in 1997, he did an interview. I forgot what magazine it was. And in said interview, he said that he, watched the corn change the first letter. And he watched it. And at the tender age of 14, he was getting it in. And he said he was mimicking the moves and the stuff that he saw on said videos. When you're introducing, your mind is in that field and in that sector as so young, what do you want the person to turn out to be? So he grew up, allegedly, according to this childhood friend, seeing the most in his own household. So when he grew up, he just amped it up through similar parties. And the reason probably why he liked the film, and I'm doing that motion, I'm talking old days, right? But either way, the reason why he liked the film is because he himself probably got addicted to those type of videos. So I guess he figured, why watch them when I can make them? Oh, gosh. Mama Combs is in her 80s. I'm going to cut her a smidgen of slack. A smidgen. Because she's in her 80s. And I don't know if y'all remember, back in the summer, Diddy was somewhere. He had to rush back home because his mother was in the hospital in Florida, and she called and needed her baby boy by her side. And Mama Combs herself told the doctors, you don't need to do no CAT scan, MRI, all this blood work. I'm stressed. She was stressed because her baby boy is in all of this trouble over these darn parties. And she probably knew back in the back of her mind, deep down, I'm the reason why he's here today. So they enjoyed uber success and riches only so that at the end of the day, he can spend the rest of his natural life up there in the Metropolitan Detention Center behind bars. Somebody telling you when to get up, when you can eat, when you can shower, when you can walk, when you can talk, when you can make a phone call to somebody. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm telling y'all right here, right now. If you ever hear Diva got cleaned up and locked up, I'm not going to survive behind bars. I will not. I'm going to pass out the minute they put one cuff on one hand. I can't do it. And I really think, to be very, very honest with you, I think at the end of the day, no matter what evidence they do or do not have, they about to throw that man up underneath the jail, and like they would say back in my day, and throw away the key. Throw away the key. I think he's done, but at the same time, you never know. And the reason why you never know is because, listen, I keep going back to all of them people from that YSL case, they on the streets today. And everybody thought they was done. They walk in the streets today. Every last one of them. So let's move on. So we're going to talk about Diddy's mama, Janice Combs, okay? Then we're going to talk about Albie Shore. I got mixed feelings about Albie Shore. I'll try to explain to you why. It's like when, I got a mixed feeling about a lot of people. I don't understand why it's Diddy and then it's thousands of people that said Diddy was just a straight up monster. I don't know why these thousands couldn't, before Cassie, come against this monster. So Albie Shore, in this documentary that's coming out next Tuesday, he's telling us, he went back and forth with this thing. He playing ping pong with it. When the book was out, Kim lost words. He was like, nah, I can't write that, this, that, boo. Now he's saying in the documentary, Kim was keeping a diary. He's saying in the documentary, Kim was ready to expose Diddy. He's saying in the documentary, someone got the password to Kim's laptop and her cell phone, discovered what she was hiding, writing, or whatever the case may be, and he's 10 toes down that Kim did not die of natural causes. Now, Kim is the mother to one of his children, Quincy Brown. He also says in this documentary that Diddy never, ever adopted Quincy. He said, why do you think his last name is still Brown? Albie Shore also says in this documentary that, you know what, he's pissed at Diddy for taking Kim from him. Now, hold up. I'm going to give Albie Shore a whole lot of breaks on all the other stuff. But I need to pump the brakes on him being so pissed that Diddy took Kim from him. Let's be clear, and I'm going to respect the dead. God rest her soul, Kim Porter. But if you don't want to be taken, you can't be taken. And that's a point blank in the period. If you are with man A, and that's where you want to be, Santa Claus can come, whoever could come, they can offer you everything underneath the sun. But if you want to stay with man A, that's where you're going to stay. So I'll be sure I get it. He's talking about all this bro code, this, that, and the other. The streets don't respect nothing these days. Listen, somebody will sleep with your husband or your wife on your wedding night and look you in the face and say, congratulations. The streets are nasty. But the one you should always have a problem with and be mad at is the person that you're committed to. Not the person they ran off with. Is it messed up? Yeah. But the one that's supposed to be committed to you, that's in your face, telling you they love you, hugging you, kissing you, all this other nonsense, that's the one you need to be mad at. So you're mad at Diddy, but you should be, unfortunately, you should have been mad at the woman that you wanted, that you said you loved. He can't take somebody that don't want to be taken. So I got to stop you there, Al. So you talking about bro code and all of this? Then he's saying all the stories that was put out there about him being a deadbeat father to Quincy was the publicity from Diddy's team. He said there was no letter to your dad, to my dad. You know that letter Quincy wrote saying his dad was never there, didn't care about him, didn't come to the games, this, that, he waited for him, never saw him, yada, yada, who? He's saying Quincy didn't write that. It was a publicity team. I could probably roll with that. I don't know. These streets now, you don't know left from right. Because everybody lies. Everybody lies. And they lie to manipulate the truth into their favor. But we're going to talk about, I'll be sure, in this documentary. Then we're going to talk about this Florida cop. What is with the people addiction to sex? I don't understand it. Addiction to it. When you are at work and you are a police officer, I mean, I think everybody, but you at work, you're a police officer, and you're not on desk duty, you driving. And you got this thing so bad that while you driving, you watching the CORN, but y'all know what I mean. Change it with a P. You watching it, you so into it that the car in front of you stopped, because the car in front of them was a bus and it was a school bus. You ain't even know it stopped, and bam, you smack into the back of that car. His airbags deployed, and guess what told on him? His own body cam. Shout out to the body cams and whoever discovered them. Shout out to the body cams. Handy B, my sister made this blanket, and it was my dad's, and I took it. When we was cleaning out his house, I took my dad's blanket. I said, nobody want to give it to me, but my sister made it. Mm-hmm. So, what the heck? He got fired because at first he lied. He said 40 breaks, this, that, and the other. But then when they looked at the body cam, they was like, no, and they saw the explicit stuff on his phone in the body cam. You got it bad when you can't even wait till you get home or something like that to watch that stuff. I ain't going to judge you. Watch what you want to watch, but watch it in the privacy of your own home or when you off duty, not when you supposed to be serving and protecting the community, sir. That woman he bumped into, I would be suing the city. Listen, I'm not the sue queen either, but when you supposed to sue, just sue. Not no cop bumping into me. Not no cop that was watching explicit stuff. A hot mess. Thank you, Handy B. I appreciate you. Thank you. Listen, guys. Y'all know the routine. I'm about to bring the people on in the building. I done talked enough. What do I need in that chat? Thank you, Tay Tay. I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Friday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is called Shocking Revelations. We got Diddy's mama, Janice Combs. Janice. The only reason why I'm leaning back on you, Janice, is because you in your 80s. But Janice, you created a monster. And now, this year, when you should be on your porch in your condo, chilling in the sunshine in Florida, you're going to have to travel to New York and go in that courtroom every day. When the people, hopefully they won't heckle you, you better ask some courts ahead of time, can they take you in through a side door? Because I have a feeling the stuff that is going to come out during this trial is going to be wild. Ask them if they can get you through a side door, Janice. Because you in your 80s, this ain't good. Don't talk about Mama Combs, I'll be sure, and this Florida cop. I'm going to bring the people on in the building. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Tay Tay.
Hey, Diva.
Anna. Hey, Katrina. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, not lock Mama up.
Hello, friend.
Oh, my God. Woo, child, lock Mama up. Listen, we're going to go ahead and get right into the story. So the first story I'm going to get into I'm going to get into this childhood friend of Diddy's saying that Mama Combs was having wild parties when they was growing up. Hold on. So Sean Combs' mother threw sexually charged parties at childhood home, the friend claims. It wouldn't be a thing to mistakenly walk into one of the bedrooms and you got a couple in there butt naked. Combs' childhood friend, Tim Patterson, claims in a new documentary. That's him and his mama. Sean Diddy Combs' mother, Janice, would often throw wild parties at the future music mogul's childhood home, where it wasn't uncommon to walk into a room where adults were having relations. One of Combs' longtime childhood friends claimed in a new documentary. That's what we were privy to. That is what we were fed. Hip hop producer Tim Dog Patterson says in Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, which will premiere on Peacock on Tuesday. Was it desensitizing us? I'm sure it was. Were we aware of it? No, that was just Saturday night. Patterson used the alleged childhood memory as a possible explanation on how Combs found himself at the center of a federal racketeering and sex trafficking investigation, where he is accused of forcing his ex-girlfriend Cassandra Cassie Ventura to participate in film drug-filled encounters with male workers that Combs allegedly dubbed freak-offs. The 55-year-old is also facing nearly 40 civil lawsuits. That's insanity. From men and women alleging that he preyed upon them between 1990 and 2024. Pleading not guilty to 3 criminal charges against him, Combs' legal team has categorically denied the claims made against him in civil lawsuits. Mr. Combs has never ST'd anyone, man or woman, adult or minor, they said in a previous statement. I've always been asked the question why, Patterson says. I don't know the answer to why, but I truly believe it all goes back to childhood. Rest for Sean and Janice Combs did not immediately respond to requests for a comment. The new Peacock documentary dives into Combs' childhood and early adolescence, speaking with Mount Vernon childhood friends, early Uptown Record colleagues, and Howard University classmate turned hit music producer Ron Ra Lawrence. Combs grew up in Mount Vernon, New York, a suburb on the fringes of Upper Manhattan. Janice had moved her young family there after Combs' father, Melvin, was unalived in 1972. A known associate of the Harlem drug kingpins, including Nicky Barnes, Willie Abraham, and Frank Lucas, Melvin was found pow-powed in the head, twice in the head, slumped over in the car. Janice kept the details of Melvin's grisly unaliving from her young son, intent on providing him an idyllic childhood. Combs was always dressed to the nines, and as a result, was looked at as the rich kid. Patterson says in the documentary, he played Little League Baseball, served as an altar boy, and made the football team at his all-boys private Catholic high school, but Combs' peers could smell he was not tough, Patterson said, claiming that Combs was badly bullied as a kid. You know, when I first read this, and I read that he was badly bullied, that could be part of why he seemed to have been alleged, because I don't know, a big bully in the music industry. Meanwhile, home, there was always things going on, Patterson said, adding that Janice would frequently throw parties at the home. On the weekend, Combs partied in the house, and we did that a lot, he said. He was around all types of alcohol. He was around, they called it back then, for those that don't know, they called it reefer smoke. It's same thing as Mary Jane, same thing as weed. He was around drug addicts around, lesbians around. He said homosexuals. He was around pimps, pushers. That was just who was in our house. People that attended the parties were from Harlem, from the streets. It wouldn't be a thing to mistakenly walk into one of the bedrooms and you got a couple in there butt naked. DJ Easy Lee Davis, also a Mount Vernon native who was close with the Combs and spun for Mary J. Blige in her early years, noted that while he never attended Janet's parties, he heard rumors about what occurred at the parties where everyone was welcome. Janice had little cool chicks that would come around and she made sure everybody was comfortable. Davis explained, laughing. Combs previously mentioned having an early introduction to SEX, frequently watching core, you know what? Corn, and losing his virginity at age 12, replicating the rough moves he had been watching in adult videos. I was acting just like a corn star's act. I was smacking that A. I was smacking that girl's A, he told Vibe in 1999. I didn't do it on my own. She wanted me to smack that A. I flipped her over because I saw it on the movie, and then she told me to do it again. The 90-minute documentary also includes interviews with singer Albie Shore, whose real name is Albert Joseph Brown, who opens up for the first time about his acrimonious decades-old relationship with Combs after the music executive aggressively pursued model Kim Porter at the time. Porter was dating Brown and recently gave birth to their son Quincy. Also speaking out for the first time is the band star Sarah Rivers, who details an unsettling experience with Combs while filming the MTV reality show Making the Band in the early 2000s. I haven't said anything in so long, she said through tears. Combs is currently awaiting his May 2025 trial date at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. After his arrest in September 2024, he is charged with ST, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in P. He has pleaded not guilty to the 3 charges. If convicted, he stands to face 15 years to life in prison. Wayne, what do you think about them trying to say that Mama Combs, she started this thing, and that's why he is who he is?
Well, all I can say, she brought a whole new meaning to the biblical term of train a child up in the way he should go, he shall not depart. he ain't,
You ain't right, Ray. You ain't right.
he ain't left. He did it. He did it just like she trained him.
Oh my God. Mm,
She got a long road. She need to put on her walking shoe because she got a long road ahead of her.
mm, mm. Thank you, Wayne. Tay, your thoughts?
Well, Miss Coles, you one nasty. You know what? Ooh, I did not know she do that when she was at parties at the house. Now we know why Dee's like that too. You know what they said, like mothers, like son, like mother. Uh, Dee, you got it from your mama, your mammy.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
You sure do, Diddy. You got it from your mammy. That's all. Wait, Diva. Now we know. Remember that outfit that she went to the court? That's why right there.
It was wild. It
And
was.
she is one wild lady that we ever see. That's all, Diva.
Thank you, Katrina. Your thoughts?
So now we see why he hate women. Well, he don't respect women, put it that way. Because what he saw growing up, that the women wasn't getting respected because his mom, I think she was a madam or what do you want to call a pimp, whatever. So that's why he don't respect women because of the things that he's seen growing up and seeing what was done to these women. And that's why he don't respect his mom either because he saw what his mom was doing, and the thing of it is, like, I don't know if he's fighting with his sexuality or something, but seeing everything that was going on, he was mimicking everything that he seen when he was a child. And then if you watching the corn on top of that, which is, totally outrageous, but he's going by what he's seen. He's going by what he was taught. what he saw at his mama house. So now he's having a party. That's why she having them heart attack, because she think that stuff gonna come back on her because what she's done. Because
Mm,
like Tay said, look how she was dressed. She was dressed like them little old time pimps when she went to that courthouse. I'm gonna get you sucker outfit. Like I said, this is a mess. This is a hot tail mess. It's a hot tail mess. That's why you don't let your kids know everything that you do.
mhm.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I don't put it past. Like I said, I don't. I know that whoever's saying this about her, I know they're not lying. I guarantee you, but it's basically the truth because we've heard stories about her as well. So Diddy, as Tay said, you get it from your mammy. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Savannah, your thoughts?
Nothing that I hear in this story surprises me. I believe a lot of what these people are saying in this documentary. I just question why it took them so long to say something. I see we have a real life Cookie Lions here. She's always
Mm,
uh, given me that vibe that she had a bigger role to play in all of this um, foolery that's been going on with Bad Boy, Sean Combs, and all that. I do believe that Mama Combs, Miss Janet's here. Miss Janet, if you're nasty, basically, because it's it's just sad at 80 years old. This is the legacy that you're going to be leaving behind. I'm not surprised by any of it. I do believe a lot of what they're saying, and I hope that she finds some type of remorse and repent in her heart at the end of at the end of all of this. However, I'm not using any of that as an excuse for the things that Sean did. We all have choices when we're adults, and he chose to be the monster that he is. So
mm,
I blame a lot on his mother. I've always had blame a lot on Miss Janet, even before the allegations came out. I knew that she wanted to live this lifestyle, and no matter what it took, who it hurt, and what sacrifices needed to be made, she was going to be a real life Cookie Lions.
mm, mm. Thank you, Savannah. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, good evening, everybody. Hey, thank you, Emma. But I think I'm about to disappoint here because I'm going straight to the gutter,
Oh my God.
straight to the gutter where Mama Combs was born.
Oh
Okay.
my.
First of all, let's get that $2 Harlem hoe into the jail. I want her AZZ locked up and locked up forever. And I'm going to tell you why. And listen, Diva, I really adore you, but I need you to keep it together because I'm just putting the facts out here, okay?
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
putting out the facts, okay? So I just need you to woosah and keep
Who's
it together, okay?
okay? I'm gonna try. Remember, she's in her 80s, but I'm
I
listening.
don't care about her 80s. I'm concerned about the twins. They just turned 18, and grandmama is about to put them on the street to get to work. And let me tell you
Oh
something.
my.
Let me tell you something. She don't respect nobody. She's
Mm,
allegedly Sean Combs' mama.
mm.
And she was having all of these indecent, immoral people around her child. And clearly, he wasn't loved or protected or even looked over. So I
Mm.
think the neighbor, the childhood friend, because he kept saying in that article, our house. I don't know why he was
He
living there.
did. He
He kept
did.
saying our house. Okay.
Mm,
But for whatever reason, he probably was the only saving grace to why Sean Combs had some kind of sanity.
mm,
Okay. I don't know what those predators, addicts, pushers, UG dealers did to Mr. Combs as a child. He was
mm,
very, very vulnerable in that household. And I don't care how high Mama Janice was or how many people she was doing, she knew that her child and those children in that household was not protected.
mm.
So let's fast forward 60 years. I don't think she's any better.
Oh my God.
And those twins need to be protected because they're legal now. And let's be clear, they don't live with her. They have a friend or someone else who's overseeing them right now.
That's facts. That's facts.
So Mr. Combs knows that Momma ain't changed a bit, and it's time for her to join him at the MDC. And she is the first name on the Sean Combs enterprise, I'll be the first to say hallelujah. Time's up. Time to pay up, Mama Combs. She can come in there with her leopard, what you call that outfit, Katrina, and get herself indicted, fingerprinted, in charge, and she can go right to the MDC and she can begin to pay the time that she owes and to protect those twins because she already messed up the boys. And I'm done with it.
Whew. I ain't say this in a long time, but whoa. E, you're in the building. What's up?
I'm gonna get you sucker outfit.
You know, I just see things a little bit different. You know, I'm not for putting all the blame on a black woman, a black mother. Whoever this man is telling this story, you know, his parents must not be worth a damn either because he watched all the stuff go down too. You know, I'm just not going to give Janice too much. She got pregnant by a drug dealer and she had to survive. And I'm putting it in the perspective, a lot of kids right now are walking in on their parents or people in their house doing unscrupulous things, all in the name of adult fun, especially nowadays. It's on the TV, it's in the music lyrics, it's on social media, it's everywhere. And now fast forward 35 years, everyone Sean Combs ever knew is coming out the woodwork and saying it's Janice's fault. I will not put his misogynistic ways all on Janice. When we all know by nature, a lot of men are naturally aggressive, competitive, and sexually charged human beings. Diddy is not the only one. You have Future, Tory Lanez, Trey Songz, Chris Brown, 50 Cent, Sean Carter, Lil Wayne, Snoop Dogg. This is the way men in hip-hop conduct themselves. So much so that even when the females come into the hip-hop genre, they take on those same aggressive and competitive and sexually charged dispositions just like the men. I believe the other day you talked about Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Lil Kim. This is the culture. And I'm not willing to throw everything on Janice's back and blame her for the entire state of why this person is the way that he is. And the reason why Cassie was drug across the floor and Diddy was hanging with people over the balcony and threatening them with bodily harm. I mean, Donald Trump has done the same thing. Nobody ever blamed Marianne McLeod. So somebody hit my inbox and tell me about Donald's mama. But I'm not willing to give Janice too much right now.
Whew. Okay. The heat and the smoke. Woo. Well, we'll stay connected. I don't know if Mama Combs is going to be able to survive this whole trial, whether it take a week, 2 weeks out there in New York. So we shall see if Mama Combs shows up and if maybe they could sneak her on the side door. Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. And the rest of Harvard will blonde wigs too. Oh my God.
Amen. I agree. And she don't have to go through the side door. They can take her right through the front door to charge her and handcuff her ass. Okay? We're done with her.
Oh my
God. Go to the jail.
Hey, Miss Felicia, I agree with you too, Miss Felicia.
All right. We're going to move forward with our next story. So our next story is, I'll be sure he does a lot. And I don't know where everybody is getting this. They're getting this, I guess all of this energy, so to speak. They're feeling like, I guess, charged because Diddy is behind bars, right? So now Al B. Sure he had all that time to speak because his son is in his 30s. And now Al B. Sure is coming out and speaking all of this stuff about, everything that's going on with Sean Combs. They allowed Cassie, and Cassie a tiny thing, and her husband is not that big either. Cassie had to be the one, the straw that broke the camel's back. Couldn't they have all band together before? If he's claiming that Kim was unalived by Diddy, couldn't they all came out before Kim was gone? Let me go into this story, because Al B. Sure is talking in this documentary too. Let me see. Where am I? Making sure I got the right article here. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's get into this. So Kim Porter's ex, Al B. Sure, insists she did keep a diary. She did keep a diary and was planning to blow the lid off of Sean Diddy Combs' warped sex life before her suspicious death, aged at 47. Kim Porter did keep a diary and was planning to expose Sean Diddy Combs' perverted life before her suspicious death, according to the model's ex, Al B. Sure. RadarOnline.com can reveal the rapper 56 has made the explosive claims in a new documentary called Diddy, Making of a Bad Boy, due to stream next week on Peacock. Sure, real name Albert Brown, claimed Porter's 2018 death was suspicious because she had enough material to bring the music mogul down. He also acknowledged in the documentary how furious he is at Diddy for stealing Porter from him, even though they were friends who both worked at the hip-hop label Uptown Records. Sure, who shares a son, Quincy, with Porter, who Diddy later adopted, said that there's an OG rule. If you're my brother and between you and your wife something happens, she's off limits. So he's trying to say, no matter what happened between me and Kim Porter, me and you were supposed to be brothers. You're not supposed to try to go after her. But Diddy, who was dating somebody else at the time, ignored him. And when Porter was in the studio with her baby Quincy, he came up to her and made a strange comment. He looked over and saw this really beautiful girl, and she was holding this really beautiful baby. And he said, "Hey, man, I wish I had a beautiful girl like that," Sure claimed. Diddy allegedly made an aggressive play for Porter and won her over with lavish vacations and a millionaire lifestyle. Sure chafed at being portrayed as an absent father and suggested it was Diddy's publicist who planted the stories against him. Welling up with tears, he called the claims propaganda and alleged Diddy didn't even formally adopt Quincy as his own. "There's no adoption, none," Sure said. "There's no letter to my father." I don't know if y'all remember that letter that Quincy allegedly had wrote and saying, to Al B. Sure, saying how Al B. Sure wasn't there. Al B. Sure is saying it was all crafted by a publicist. If you hadn't noticed, his name is still Brown. Puppy wasn't happy about anyone who had a relationship with Kimberly, but Porter, according to Sure, tried to protect him. He explained Kimberly didn't get involved. Kimberly said, "Don't get involved. You will get killed." Not only was she trying to save me, she was putting her own life in danger. Why? You the man. You loved her so much, I'll be sure. Why didn't you rise up and try to save her? But Porter did keep on talking to Sure, and they remained friends. He said in the film she began to confide in him. She said something's not right. His soul, Diddy, has gone completely dark, like he's just not there. She made me promise on her son's life not to ever reveal anything because she was in complete fear of my life. What I do know is that before her death, she was keeping a diary. Someone got the passcode to her phone and computer and found out what she was writing, what was going on behind closed doors. A 60-page book called Kim's Lost Words, which purported to be a collection of Porter's diary, was published in September, 6 days before Diddy was indicted. In it, Porter allegedly recounted discovering and making copies of tapes of Diddy made of himself having sex with young boys he was managing, including a tape involving an 18-year-old pop star who went on to be a household name. The final entry of the memoir has Porter falling faithfully ill, dramatically texting her friends, "He got me," and then calling 911. An attorney for the Combs family, as well as Porter's 4 children, said the alleged memoir was fake, and anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves. In the documentary, Shore suggested Porter was unalive and said that she was going to do what another of Diddy exes, Cassie Ventura, did with her lawsuit, blowing the lid off the entire situation. Diddy has consistently denied any involvement in Porter's death. The actress had an on-again, off-again relationship with Diddy from around 1994 until they split in 2007. Together, they had a son, Christian King Combs, now 26, and twins Jesse and Delilah Combs, 18. Diddy, 55, is currently holed up in the Federal Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, awaiting trial and facing allegations that he ran a decades-long operation involving recruiting and giving substances to women for freak-offs where they were forced to have relations with other men, including male workers. Tay, I'll be sure. What are your thoughts?
Maybe it can. Maybe if you fight hard for her, maybe she will be still be here, and then you and her will raise Junior. Maybe they just ain't will be happy right now. But no, you just go out to the streets, have your ding out, and you didn't love her. Maybe you love her and treat her right like a queen. I'll be sure you need to sit down. Because we ain't got time for your butt. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thanks, Savannah. Thanks, Tay. Savannah, you're up.
Sorry, Dave, I wasn't prepared. Um, what drives me nuts about these stories that continue to come out is I'm trying to figure out what everyone's end goal is. It's not going to change our perception of who we know them to be. I'll be sure has been um, bringing this alarm about Kim and a diary for almost a decade now, if not more. And we all know the stories of him uh, being in the hospital and whatever happened to him there. Uh, I hate to speak ill of people who are no longer alive or in existence, and God bless her soul and her family. But we also have to look at Kim here that she had some fault in this as well. We don't know what happens behind closed doors and what her relationship was with I'll be sure when they were together and had the child. I can see her easily being wooed by Sean Combs and the promise of um, a jet setting life as he provided for her. But in order to live that lifestyle, there's a price that you have to pay, and she continued to pay that price. Uh, Maybe willingly or unwillingly, we just don't know. And this is those that's what drives me nuts about this whole story, that so many people are at fault. Some that are here and some that are no longer here, and no one wants to really take accountability for their part in this whole just debacle of I just it just drives me nuts how these people are looking for some type of hero award or redemption. And I'll be sure we've already heard this. We already know it. I don't think it's going to change public opinion about you at all. So I don't know what his end goal is and why he's. I will be watching the documentary, but not because of what I'll be sure has to say. I've heard it already.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Well, one thing we should know that Diddy couldn't adopt Quincy, especially if Al B. Shore didn't give over his parental rights, because you got to get the parental rights from the father in order to adopt the child. Um, Kim, like Savannah said, she tried to leave him. She went back, but you was staying in one of his houses. You saw the things that he was doing. Um, you got pregnant by him. You was raising your kids, knowing the type of man that he was. I would have made sure I kept my kids far away from him, but those are his kids. Um, it's a sad situation because you realize what type of man this person was. There is no way that I would not did all I could do to get my kids away from him.
Mm.
So she has a little, like Savannah said, she do got a fault in this as well. And I'm not giving Diddy no pass because everybody knows she's saying that he was a monster. He put the whammy on Al B. Sure and Jamie Foxx, I believe. I'm not for sure, allegedly. But every time somebody got ready to come out and say something about him, they end up gone. The coroner, the surgeon, Al B. Sure almost, Jamie Foxx almost, Heavy D, Black Rob, Craig Mack, a lot of them. But we'll see how this turns out. And but like Savannah said, Al B. Sure has been saying this stuff all this time, so his story hasn't changed. Just the fact that you should have just tried your best to get her away from him, but you can't take somebody that don't want to go. So we just have to see how it goes in the documentary. I mean, because we ain't heard these stories over and over again, but we'll see how it go, Diva. That's all I got.
Thank you. E, your thoughts?
Well, I have a lot to say, and I took out my retainers for this. It's so much to unpack, and I'll try to organize my thoughts as best I can. Um, First thing first, Albert has lived many lives, and he has some problems. He has a problem with making and keeping money. He has
Mm.
problems in the bedroom, and he has a problem with lying. He is a provocative victim. Albert has, how can I say this? Albert was with Kim until he wasn't. She
Mm-hmm.
moved on, and that was her business. Men want the prettiest women, and women deserve men with the most money. A fair swap is not a swindle. But word on the curb is a lot of men, especially bisexual men, this is what I've heard, value the opinions and loyalty of men. And I've said this before, more than they do females. So I'm just going to leave that there. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. And now I want to get into this narrative of him being a deadbeat father. I care not about what Albert says, these people portrayed of him, um, you know, not being present. And he said that the letter doesn't exist. I believe that's the way that it was phrased when you were reading it. Um, I don't care about who put the story out that Albert was not a good dad. I care about what Quincy said. And Quincy's voice is the only one that matters to me in that whole situation. Quincy said Albert wasn't there, and I believe him. And from what has been documented in the media and TV cameras, Quincy is not lying. This is not a story that somebody conjured up for clicks and views. These are the words of your firstborn son, or however, whatever place he was in line. Quincy doesn't like Albert, and this is not helping him coming out and doing these documentaries, because if Quincy's not talking, then you need to shut your mouth too. too. I'm not going to play this game as if Kim and Sean were not prancing around these award shows and ebony magazines with Quincy and Christian in tow before these twins came along, and they were in all these magazines from the 90s and early 2000s because my grandmother used to get them. She has subscriptions, I guess that's what you call them. Quincy's name was listed as Quincy Combs back when they were showing them on TV and in the magazines. He was unofficially Combs. Both Kim and Diddy were drowning Quincy in these lies, and this is why he's probably so confused right now as they drag this little boy all across Kamala's United States of America, perpetuating the notion that he had been unofficially adopted. So now Albert wants to clear it up. To me, that detail adds no validity to Albert's argument because there are more pictures of Quincy with Diddy while he was little than there are of Quincy and Albert. Do you know what I'm saying? So whether Quincy's last name is Combs or whether his last name is Brown, the bottom line is Quincy has no healthy relationship with either one of those men. His last name might as well be Porter. Who gives a damn about his last name when you can't even reach out to him by the telephone and he does not call you on a Father's Day? This false sense of entitlement, which Albert is displaying, really rubs me the wrong way, and I'm willing to bet it rubs Quincy the wrong way too. Albert will say and do anything to paint Diddy as a worse man than him, and that's not to say that Diddy is not the worst man, but this doesn't help the situation. We don't need to put any sprinkles on it. Let the bad behavior be bad behavior all by itself. And my last point is this, because I'm long-winded. Albert insisted that Kim kept a diary and wrote everything down. And if I remember, when the tell-all book came out, Albert co-signed the release by sharing the book on his IG story. Remember that? So we all thought that was the diary that Kim had been keeping. Albert gave the author full free promotion to sell that unauthorized memoir. Now, here we go again with the lying problem. You see, now that book is not true, but the real diary exists. It's somewhere. He can't tell us where it is and who has it, but he knows that somebody cracked the code on the computer and downloaded the manuscript. It's out there somewhere on the internet, but he cannot tell us what's in it. He is playing ring around the rosy with tangible facts. And what gets my bangs in the frizzy is Albert shared that book thinking it will only portray Diddy in a bad light. But then, and I believe we did the reading here, but when it came out that the content boomerang 180 degrees backwards and knocked Albert across his sweet cheeks and exposed the MMF action Albert and Diddy were doing with Kim, now that the world believes that Albert and Diddy were bumping belly buttons too, now he wants to divert our attention away from what was supposed to be the official diary, okay? And play this game that, oh no, it's still one out there. See, Diva, it's a Donald Trump, Tom Girardi, Justin Timberlake, Crybaby Tyrese game that he's playing to distract silly people from acknowledging the fact that the book told us that Albert and Diddy were in the room together with Kim. And knowing what we know now, and how can I phrase this? Knowing what we know about Diddy's proclivity to being with men and women romantically at the same time, the allegations don't seem that far-fetched. But it does make one wonder, how could Albert have so much insight to deduct that Kim was keeping a diary on Sean Combs up until her death, and that she was planning to do a lawsuit against him similar to Cassie, yet he had no idea what the hell Quincy was doing all these years. He had no idea that his son wanted nothing to do with him and that he had this much resentment. The only way Albert can keep up with Quincy's comings and goings is via Instagram from his food stamp page, because Quincy has Albert blocked. How the hell does that work? How were you and Kim so locked in with communicating that she would share with you her secret weapon? This was something that nobody was supposed to know, against a man who she could not free herself from financially. But you are not as locked in with your son, who still calls the man you say is a devil dad. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Yeah, woo, woo, woo. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, I think I'm going to go in a different direction here. I'm going to keep it simple. Al's a punk. He's a spineless man. Has no integrity, no courage. He don't know the truth. He ain't good friends with nobody, up to and including that somebody that might be his child. I don't even know if that's his kid anymore. I don't know. Sounds very odd to me that after all this time, you want to correct people about whether or not this child who's supposed to be your child, your biological child, had been adopted or not. This is an adult male at this time. So why would you want to have your child be confused for 20-something years?
Oh my God.
Because you're confused. You don't know if you had a personal, intimate relationship with his stepfather or not. You don't know whether or not you was married to his mama or not. Because I'm confused. I thought they were married. Now I'm hearing we back to a relationship. What is it, Al? Did he have a major head injury? Because I can't keep up with yes it is, no it's not, yes it is, no it's not. I don't know what it is. But what I do know is that he's a punk and he's a liar. And I wish he would just shut up.
Well,
I'm done.
Yeah, 10 Friday night up. All right, Wayne, your thoughts?
I think Al be sure has turned this into a big money grab. If he's looking out for her legacy or whatever, and he so-called loved her and stuff like that, it's just turned into a big opportunity to make money because that's all this is doing. Is doing documentaries. I'm sure he's not showing up on Peacock for free.
Right.
And he's just taking an opportunity, and he's making money off of it. So I guess the more you talk about it, the more you can make. So I think he's gonna be doing some talking.
Thank you, Wayne. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Julius, you're up.
This reminds me of what Teddy Pendergrass used to say: "Turn off the lights," and however else it goes. Because when the part came out that you and Diddy, like R. Kelly used to say, "Let's bump and grind," now you disavow the book. Only parts of it aren't true. What's wrong, Al? Are you ashamed that you turned off the lights and bumped and grind with the same S? What's to be ashamed of? Your son has not wanted a thing to do with you. Kim left you for a reason. She left you for a reason. You still can't accept the fact that you were dumped, and now you want to attempt to make money on her name. But we know Diddy was a freak. Are you mad because your freaky side was exposed? I remember the whole outcry from you, Al, when that book was released. But now you want to attempt to walk it back. So again, like the late Teddy Pendergrass used to say, turn off the lights. Or the late Marvin Gaye, let's get it on. I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with it. You was having fun. Why don't you own it?
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and roll into the last story. Let me just see here. I hope I didn't click out of it by mistake. Let me just look through my little notes here. Hold on, guys. The last story is this Florida cop, and I just got to find out where did I click out of it by mistake. A Florida cop, he was driving, and while he was driving, he was watching The Unthinkable. And while he was driving and watching The Unthinkable, he crashes into the person in front of him. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this story. I have it here. Let me share screen. So Florida cop watching, you know what, on his phone. He rear ends the stopped car. So hold on 1 second. We'll take a look. His airbags.
911 assist is turned off. Therefore, 911 assist call will not be made by phone. Attention, 911 assist is turned off. Therefore, 911 assist call will not be made by phone.
2980 county 65 signal 4. You can use Creston and County Road 435. I'm going to be involved. There's going to be signal 16. Son of a bitch. 10-4. Oh, no, not this time. Gosh darn it. Yeah, that fucking sucked. Yeah, I'm good. Hello, ma'am. Are you okay? I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
My brain's locked up.
Okay.
You good?
I was like, oh my goodness, wait. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Do you just want to pull
Yeah,
off right
should I
here?
pull over more? Okay.
Just to make sure you're out of the turn lane.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're out of the turn lane. So.
Now his brakes locked up. So Florida cops out of work at the wild incident. His own body cam captured him slamming his patrol car into a civilian's vehicle while he was distracted by watching you know what on his phone. The video shows Lake County Sheriff Deputy Tristan McComber slamming into another vehicle, his airbag deploying on impact. Moments later, he's outside the car, picking up the phone from the floor and casually tossing it onto the seat, then checking on the other driver. And they blurred it out, but it was explicit stuff on the video. Internal affairs report from 2 weeks after the November class claimed that he initially blamed the wreck on his brakes locking up when the car ahead stopped for a school bus. Turns out it was his eyes, not his brakes. They were locked on some XXX rated visuals. Investigators revealed his video's dash cam and caught him clearly distracted, holding a cell phone in the seconds leading up to the crash. When questioned initially, he claimed he was scrolling through the text messages in a group chat with other deputies at the time of the impact. Later, he fessed up, admitting he was actually viewing P material on his personal phone. He racked up 3 policy violations, lying about the incident, using an electronic device for prohibited content, and evidence showing he wasn't wearing a seatbelt during the crash. Hot flaming mess. Tay, your thoughts?
You big dummy, you forgot you got a Karen on your suit right there? This why, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do not text and drive it at the same time.
Hello.
Just keep your eyes on the road.
Come on.
Wait till you get home, then you be on the phone. This why everybody going crazy on the road. They had the loud music on, had to look at the phone, and you just look at the road at the same time. This why everything going crazy right here. Because you got your eye glued to the internet right there. Just wait till you get home to watch that right there. He probably gonna get spended and probably gonna get spended because in police that we know don't do that. Watch him that right there in their car.
Mm.
All I say, you big dummy. That's all, Diva.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
Well, it's kind of hard to drive with one hand, and you're paying attention to the plot twist in the movie there. I hope he has been reprimanded. More than likely, he's on suspended paid leave or something. It's just another vehicle that taxpayers are going to have to pay for. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and according to Project 2025, Florida is one of those states that is looking to do away with body cams. So
Mm-hmm.
innocent civilians are going to find it very difficult to, especially in a case such like this, where he was extremely distracted and didn't even have a seatbelt on. They're going to find it difficult to prove once the governor does away with body cams on regular traffic stops and things like that. So, um, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's back on the streets again. Then, well, no slap on the wrist. His hand was busy. So,
I'll weigh your thoughts.
Yeah, that's Lake County. That's one of them small counties down here. So
Mm.
you can imagine he's probably, his daddy is probably in charge or whatever. He's probably gets suspended with pay,
Mm.
whatever, and probably won't see any kind of, I don't even think he'll see any kind of discipline,
Wow.
because, yeah, that's one of them little small counties. That's it.
Thank you, Katrina.
That's ridiculous. He should get 5 tickets. One for driving while being stupid. One for driving without having on your seatbelt. One for driving for looking at your phone when you're supposed to have hands free mobile device, especially in Florida. And then you sit up there, you're lying. You
Mm.
sit up talking about your brakes locked up. Okay, if your brakes locked up, how did you hit somebody? If your
Mm.
brakes locked up, you would have stopped before you even hit her. So that was a lie on its own. It's ridiculous that they can say and do and get away with anything. And then why didn't you just then pull off to the side of the road if that's what you wanted to do? Why are you driving and looking at that? That's just totally weird and stupid. So you got exactly what you was asking for. And it doesn't make any sense that he don't get no punishment. That's ridiculous. What if he would have Kate that person or some a child could have been in the car because for his own selfish reasons, he's caused an accident when he could have. I'm quite sure he's a police officer. He could have pulled side the road. There's plenty of the little pull off places where they be sitting out there to give you a ticket. So you could have pulled up into one of those, went into some bushes or whatever you want to do. But still, you thinking that you can look at corn and drive. Your mind is totally distracted. That's why he ain't have no seatbelt on because, like you said, he was probably using. Ugh. Anyway, I don't even want. I wouldn't even want to get in that car. And then he had to hit that woman not I mean pretty hard in order for that airbag to come out. So
Mm-hmm.
she's saying that she's okay. Girl, you stupid as heck. I would have had a I would have put a towel around my neck and said I need a neck brace. But you know how it goes. But it's just ridiculous and sad when he could have pulled over, pulled off the road, do it on your lunch break. But you put my life in harm because you want to look at corn. That's ridiculous and sad, and he need to be punished. He need to be punished, especially not having on a seatbelt, using not hand-free device as
Mm.
they claim you're supposed to do in Florida, and he doing all this and he getting away with it. It's sad just because they're a police officer. No, he should face consequences, and I don't think he should get away with it. That's all I got. And I was that lady. Yeah, you talking about you all right now, girl? You stupid as heck. But anyway, we'll see how it goes.
She's shocked though, I think, because it was a cop that hit her. Felicia, your thoughts?
See, the situation for me right here is this police officer was at work and he's working and he's self-pleasuring himself while driving a vehicle. This is why the seatbelt is off.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He has his peen out. And so he's at, the point of excitement where he can't control anything because we already know he's addicted. This is an addiction, folks.
Yeah.
Okay? And he hits the back of a vehicle and then he has to adjust himself to get out, mind you, because you notice you heard him. He's adjusting himself getting out of this vehicle. I didn't see no wipes or nothing, but he went over there and put his hand on her car door. And I'm like, we're wondering why these viral infections are wild in this country. He reminds me of STD Madry. No matter where you at, you're pulling it out, booty up, dropping it hot, get on your knees. I need these people to go in for treatment.
Yeah.
They have a problem. It's a serious problem. And he decides he's going to tell one lie, two lies, three lies, and then he just tells the truth because they see what he was doing. And so he just, instead of saying, hey, I need to go into treatment the same way you would if it was an alcohol situation or another substance situation. Listen, I got a problem. Let me go into treatment. He decides, no, he's going to go someplace and drive around and jerk off on somebody else's job. And I'm glad that I ain't nowhere near him. I'm just sick of these dirty, disgusting men. I'm really done with them. I really am. I'm done.
Thank you. Julius, your thoughts?
Whoop, there it is. He was watching the cornhole. Was beyond excitement. Was probably thinking some things. Forgot he didn't forget. He knew he was at work. And ruined someone else's car. But see, it doesn't matter if you're from a small colony or nothing else like that. But let me tell you something. I'm a believer in karma. He forgot he had his body camera on. But one thing that the precinct can't say, they can't say that other driver was at fault because she was stopped. Because the bus was right there. So, I guess, and this is something I was thinking about today. If 2024 was the year of exposure, I guess 2025 is the year of owning your dirt. If you gonna do dirt, own it. Miss me with the excuses.
Thank you, Julius. Listen, crazy story. I didn't hear about being suspended, fired, none of that. Ain't that interesting? Guy, but they told us he got 3 tickets for 3 violations. He's still on the road watching this stuff.
But if it was any of us,
listen, it would have been a mess. Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all for coming through for Friday Night Trending Topics. It's shocking revelations. I told you that. Diddy's mama. A shout out to Janice Combs. You in my prayers, girlfriend, because they want to put you up out there in the Metropolitan Detention Center with your son. I'm trying to spare you, girlfriend, because you in your 80s. You gotta be sure. And this
Can I
floor.
speak on Miss Janice when you're done?
Yes, because I'm closing out. Go ahead.
Now, she in her 80s, okay, but she know better. She know better. You was still all up in the mix when it came to your son and his businesses and stuff. You know better. You in your 80s. And then you want to say, "Oh, I'm having chess comp." You probably like, "Oh Lord, when is my dirt gonna come out? Cause it's coming." Miss Janice knew what she was doing.
Thank you. Yeah. Prayers for Miss Janice. She's in her 80s, okay? She's in her 80s. And listen, guys, y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Do not cheat the devil straight down